Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coherent Connection, a series of videos by Renata Crescenzo and I, Randa Ali. We came up with the idea of these videos um, after a lot of me trying to convince Renata that we should record these videos, share them with everyone. We're always having fun. We're always speaking from the heart, sharing wisdom and sharing our hearts. Sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's funny, but it is all beautiful and it's all coming from the heart, and that is why we thought, let's get everyone confused with us. No, not really. We don't want to confuse anyone. We thought we'd share the love and the wisdom behind our connection, and that is why we called it the Coherent Connection. So, Renata, would you like to tell everyone what this will be about?
Yes, I'd love to. So, Rhonda and I are both HeartMath trainers, and that's one of the bases of our original connection was HeartMath. And we've been sharing, with each other, through our friendship, techniques and ways of being that really help align situations in our lives, bring coherence, a term that we use at HeartMath, which is really about being in alignment and having inner balance. So using the HeartMath techniques, the breathing techniques, and learning to be aligned in ourselves, we've started to share with each other, these experiences of alignment and the synchronicity and the unfoldings in our life that come through. So it's as Rhonda, you always say, it's juicy stuff, and we want to be able to share it with people who are interested in learning more about coherence and about connecting. It's really when we're in a coherent place, that's when we can really connect. We're connecting with ourselves and then with each other, and bringing this energy, to our friends and family and our communities.
All right. Well, connection is your thing, Renata, but this is how I see you. But do you want to tell everyone more about you, what you love to do, and what's your work?
Yes, well, I have a background in business and information technology for a number of years. I was a consultant and a software analyst. And 2 years ago, I had some life-changing events that occurred, and I kind of found myself on a new path, and I was studying HeartMath and getting certified as a trainer. And in the last couple of years, that's what I've been doing. I've been working with HeartMath, training, coaching people and techniques. I've started giving talks and just really sharing what it is to be in alignment and be whole. I really see that the HeartMath techniques are a means to our inner balance, which actually is becoming whole, being able to hold all of our energies, all the good, the bad, and really transform and come to a place of heart. And so that's what I want to share with people.
Yeah, I agree that HeartMath tools and techniques have created a practical way for us to experience all that you are talking about, Renata.
Yeah.
And it made it so easy. Yes.
Oh, continue. I'm sorry.
I think it made it easy for us to assimilate these experiences and better understand them, because we can now understand the science behind these emotions and these thoughts. Like we can be aware of what's going on inside of our bodies when we're going through these experiences. And this is not the only thing that I loved about HeartMath. I'm a HeartMath coach too, and I, I I got introduced to HeartMath through a video by Greg Braden, where he was speaking about the power of the heart. And that is something that has always been an interest of me, being a Sufi. I do believe in the power of the heart, and to see that science is now catching up um, to what I already believe in was really interesting to me. And so I started going onto HeartMath's website and reading more about it. And then I bumped into this article that was speaking about this HeartMath trainer who was doing work here in Lebanon. And not only that, I noticed that this trainer is very close to me, and he's like 20 minutes away from my house. And so I left a comment for them for HeartMath below the article, and I said, I want to help. How can I meet this trainer? How can I help him? And that is how from Lebanon, I got to meet someone in the other end of the world, Renata, from the United States. You want to take the story from there, Renata?
Yes. So as I had mentioned, I had been completing my training as a HeartMath certified trainer, and I was reading, the website, and came across the same article that you read about Maj Kamal Maz's work in Lebanon, working with Syrian refugees who were suffering from trauma as a result of the war. That the article basically spoke about the issue with the children and a serious bedwetting problem and uresis that was happening because of their trauma, and how the 6-week program he developed using HeartMath techniques and working with the mothers and the children together had a 90% cure rate in 6 weeks, just employing these methods. And I felt very pulled to reach out to him and see if he needed help, because I was at a point where I had been laid off from my job, and I had a lot of freedom to be in service rather than going back to a 9-to-5 job. So to make a long story short, I contacted him, and we met, and he gave me the okay. He interviewed me and said, yes, come, but you're going to need to have your own translator if you want to work here. And so I went back to the website, the web article that you responded to, and that's where we connected. I didn't know anything about you other than what you said, but I was helping to recruit other volunteers. And because I had told Maj that there were a lot of people who wanted to help. And when I wrote to you, we started corresponding and discovered so many connections and common interests and ideas. And it was just a really great connection. But what was amazing to me is all of the synchronicities that seem to unfold around you with, I asked you, you wanted to volunteer, and I said, do you happen to speak English and Arabic? And when you came back and said, yes, not only English and Arabic, but Portuguese and Spanish too, which that was very impressive to me. But
Thank you.
but yes, and just your availability and closeness, and how when I finally came to Lebanon in January, how you were there within half an hour. And first time we meet, we say hello and we hug, and we sit down into a conference room and meet the staff, and you just jumped right in as my translator. and how that week in Lebanon, going to the refugee camps and being my translator there and sharing with me your insights and about the culture and, just really helping me. I don't know what I would have done without you that week. And yeah, that was the start of a great friendship.
I agree. And I think that, just now I remember, now that you're mentioning it, just now I remember that I was initially your translator, but um, all I can remember from that experience is I got to meet someone that felt that I knew for so long. I had a lot in common with you. It felt like, although I like to look at it on the outside, we really don't have much in common, right? Like I live in Lebanon, you in United States. Even we have an age difference. We have been raised in totally different cultures. We speak different languages. Although I speak English, yes, and some French, just bonjour, bonsoir. But I think that the beautiful thing about this meeting and this relationship, I can call it a connection because um, I think that nowadays we're starting to think that um, if I like Renata's photo on Facebook, or if I comment on her video or something, that's connection. Or if I text someone, that is connection. It is a kind of communication, but connection does not start at that level. I believe that connection starts at um, the level of the heart, when we have this heartly intention to um, to connect with someone beyond everything that seems to put us apart, or that seems to make us look different, like in terms of um, where we live, or the languages we speak, or the race, or whatever um, seems as a difference for us. I think that when we are communicating with the heart first, and that is something that HeartMath teaches us to do. I think we transcend all these um, apparent, actually, they are just apparent differences and um, excuses of separation. So when we are living from the heart, we're doing everything from the heart, we're connecting from the heart. This is what I truly believe as connection. This is where we start to see the other as truly very similar to us, because at the heart we are all one. And this is the truth of all of our hearts. This is the truth that every heart knows. Our minds just get in the way. And I think that when we make that conscious intention to move from our heads into our hearts, we can taste that that truth.
Yeah, I agree. I agree totally. It is really all about the heart. It's our heart has wisdom, our heart has knowing. It's where our authentic self is living. And that's where I think we are really making these connections with everyone. And I think the thing that really separates us is when our minds sometimes take over and allow our thoughts to take us places that are not in alignment with our heart. And unfortunately, we've been so conditioned in our cultures, and I think in the world at large, to value logic and thinking. To be a smart person, we have the value on that. And, I think about people in professions that are well paid, they're usually thinking oriented, finance and even technology. And we think about the jobs that are really more service oriented of the heart, like teaching and nursing, and they don't receive the same financial remuneration, and valuing that these thinking things do. And I was in a thinking profession, and I have been in thinking, but I found that it doesn't really always serve me in life when I'm trying to find my truth, find my path, and find a life that's really meaningful. Logic doesn't always equate to fulfillment. That path of following a logical path. How many people we hear about that are following all the things that we're supposed to do, get a college education, and get into this career and have this house and have all of these material things, or even like we were talking about in your culture, some of the emphasis on beauty and appearance, and how you could have that, but if you don't have your inner alignment and your connection to yourself and that sense of inner fulfillment, that only your heart can take you on that journey, on that path to fulfillment. It's not these things that are mandated by our cultures or by society about. We have to find what is meaningful for us, and it is about making that journey from the logical conditioning of the mind into the intuitive knowing of the heart. And that's kind of, it's a big paradigm shift. It's a big shift from one way of thinking and being that's been supported and encouraged to a new way of living from the heart, following your joy, following what calls you, following your feelings and aligning with that, and that again is what HeartMath has helped me with, learning these techniques. And yeah, I'd like to share that with everyone who's open to this way.
Yeah. And like you said, this paradigm shift is what is needed, although it's not an easy journey. I know that um, like every one of us, we have been conditioned to um, live within the safety of this part of us, and we kind of feel scared to move into the heart because um, like I think that the mind is always carrying this baggage from culture, society, upbringing, all this conditioning is this baggage that our minds carry. And um, when we move into the heart, it is free.
Mm-hmm.
It is not clouded by this baggage that is here. um, I think that is why sometimes people see it as risky,
Mm-hmm.
or people are a bit scared.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know that you and we did not do it like um, overnight. We are every day doing it. We're committed to the decision, to the choice that we will be constantly shifting from our mind to our hearts, just as we have been conditioned over the years to live only in our minds. We have to gradually remove that conditioning
Yes.
and go back to our hearts. And sometimes our egos get in the way because our minds are um, make us feel safe within the familiarity of everything that is here.
Yes.
And
And our
this is
attachment.
normal. Yeah, that is why resistance comes up at these points. And I think that the way we have dealt with our resistances, Renata, and remember, like I can remember all these um, video calls we've had, and we were speaking about so many things, and like these aha moments that I have always asked you to, Renata, you have to write this down. I need you to tell everyone what this concept was for you, how it felt for you. I want you to inspire others. Sometimes I would need this lesson. I want to um, learn something that I could really learn through you, through your own experience. And I'm constantly reminding myself of the stories you have told me, and how you overcame your resistance. And like I said, it's an everyday job. There is no this perfect stage that we will all get to one day. I think that that's what makes it beautiful, really, reminding us ourselves that we are committed to living a heart-based life, and again to have these um, immensely powerful tools and techniques that would make this shift easier for us. It would make it we can assimilate it in a better way. We can relate to it. We can understand it better. I think that this is why you and I are so passionate about sharing not only our experiences, but also how the teachings of HeartMath has helped us in
Yes,
these experiences.
exactly. Exactly. I'm looking forward to these conversations and sharing our insights, see where it goes. And, we spoke about bringing others into this conversation with us, other people who are on the same path of the heart, and sharing our experiences with a lot of diverse people, our friends all around the world, who all seem to have such differences, but really where we're connecting is at the heart, from the coherent heart. So, yeah, I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward
I'm
to more
I'm looking
connection.
forward. Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. And I think that we both have that desire to inspire more connections in the world.
Yeah. Well, we'll say goodbye until next time. Looking forward to connecting with everyone. Thank you, Rhonda,
Thank
and
you, Renata.
bye bye for now.
Bye bye.